Hey everyone, it's Vanna for Kelowna Now, and today our guest is Alexa Nerezza, a local drag queen here in Kelowna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, darling?
Good. I'm really glad you're here today. You're a pretty unique anomaly to Kelowna. We do have some awesome drag queens, but you're actually heterosexual.
Yes, I am.
So for people who don't know, maybe can you explain a little bit about why that is such a unique thing?
Well, it's not, when you think of a drag queen, you think of a gay man. It's very, very uncommon to see a straight man doing drag or whatever. So I think it's really cool, and it opens up the fact that everybody can do drag.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of got you started in drag?
Well, growing up, I've always liked makeup, like kind of the hair, like dressing up pretty, and just when I had a few relationships that didn't exactly go the best, I realized this is something I need in my life, and I've always wanted to perform on stage, so I kind of took A and B and combined them to make C.
That's awesome. And your family and friends, are they supportive?
All my friends are supportive. I used to be very involved in the metal scene, and the people that do know, that will talk to me about it, love it, support me 110%. My sister knows, loves it. My dad and my stepmom know, and they support me or whatever. My mom knows, little bit worried of just like my safety, like walking around or whatever, because it's still not really the norm to see a drag queen walking down the road or whatever. So she's a little bit reserved, and my stepdad doesn't know because she hasn't told him.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So, have you received any backlash? You know, last year there was that incident after Pride. One of the queens was attacked. So have you run into any uncomfortable situations like that here in Kelowna?
Surprisingly not. Like, that's the one thing. Like, Kelowna can be a bit of a conservative town sometimes. So we've gone out to Nerezza's for pizza. We've gone out to the bars just in drag, and we have never had an issue. So I was really surprised and sad to hear what happened last year.
Yeah. And what about from the queer community? When they hear of a heterosexual drag queen, are they as inclusive as they hope other heterosexuals to be?
First of all, I don't know how many of them actually believe it,
Oh.
to start. But that was one thing I was a little bit scared of, getting involved into the drag scene. How are the other queens going to perceive me or like deal with me? But everybody's been awesome. I've never had any issues with any of the queens. They're always super supportive of me, so it's definitely a nice thing.
Yeah, and we don't have to dive too much into this, but you know, if you're going on a date with someone, how do you just straight up are like, oh yeah, I'm a drag queen, that's my hobby, or like?
Usually if I do have some interest in someone, it will come up in the first couple times, or like us talking. So they're aware of what they're getting into. I'm actually dating 2 girls at the moment, and both know and both fully accept it and support me, so it's definitely a big step from where I've come with the relationships and whatnot. My last really serious one, my ex threw out all my clothes or whatever.
Drag.
So it was something that I had to dive deep into my soul and figure out, this is who I am. This is what I like doing. I have to do it.
Yeah.
There's no use lying to myself about it.
And so how long have you been doing drag?
It's coming up on about 2 years, performing for about 2 years. I was going to events like in drag for about 6 months, just learning how to do makeup and whatnot, because not really having much experience before, you have a lot to learn. I'm still learning every time I do my face.
Yeah, and you've been able to compete 3 times in Kelowna's Next Drag Superstar, you were saying?
This year will be the 3rd year, so hopefully 3rd time's the charm.
Okay, and so I guess seeing how vibrant Kelowna's scene is, what is that like for you, you know, just coming into it and now kind of getting everything going for yourself?
Well, when I first started out in drag, the scene was like a little bit small, and there's been probably about 3 or 4 queens that have popped up since I've been here. And the scene is growing. Like each month, each year, the scene is growing. Like the queens are getting better and better, like with outfits, with makeup. So to be part of something that's like growing in Kelowna is like, it's really cool.
And working together with the other queens, is that something that happens? Are you just like one big community all out to support each other?
For the most part, like, we're all human beings. We're not going to get along with everybody, but for the most part, we all like support each other. We have to work together at different shows or whatever. So it's nice to have the support from all the girls.
Yeah. And you have a really interesting opportunity coming up where a queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, Brooklyn Heights, is coming, and you get to perform alongside her. So what is that like for you?
Oh, Well, when we first heard Brooke was coming to town, we're like, oh my God, first of all, she's the first Canadian to ever be on the show, which is a big, big thing. For people that don't know, you have to actually be a U.S. citizen or have like a working visa, because Brooke lives in Tennessee, I'm pretty sure. So just to see her get on the show and have as much success as she did, we were all rooting for her to be like, we get to perform with America's Next Drag Superstar. Like, that's just so amazing.
Yeah.
But I also had the chance to perform with Tatiana when she was here in the Valley. I went up to Kamloops and was able to perform alongside her. And just for being so new to like drag and whatever, to be performing with these girls that are on TV that have traveled the world, it's a really humbling experience. And Tatiana was so nice and treated us just like one of her famous friends, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, it has to be pretty exciting. What do you think that means for the Okanagan as well, to know that some of these bigger queens are coming and helping to foster the local scene? What do you hope it brings to Kelowna?
Well, every show that I perform in, we still have people coming up to us and be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. We had no idea drag queens even existed in town. So having these more higher profile queens come to the area or whatever just helps boost what we're doing here. So it's really awesome to see big names come here, because then when we get to open up for them, we just get that much more exposure rather than a local drag show. Right,
exactly. And Kelowna, it is conservative, as you had mentioned earlier, but clearly you guys are making a name for yourself. We touched a little bit on the incident that happened last year during Pride, but what is something maybe that you want to put out to the community this year going forward with Pride, and just your thoughts of being heterosexual really in a prominent queer community?
It's just love everybody. It doesn't matter what their sexuality is, what they dress like, what they look like. We're all just human beings trying to live our lives. So, and like I said, anybody can do drag, whether you're straight, bi, gay. There's girls that do drag.
Yeah.
There's non-binary drag, which is amazing to see all these things blossoming and coming to fruition.
Yeah, it really is more of a performance art, you would say, right?
Oh, 110%. When people ask me, well, why, a little bit confused, like, why do you like doing this? Like, what is it like using makeup? And I just say it's like painting.
Yeah.
Instead of painting a canvas, I paint on my face. And from taking a basic, very much straight boy, who, when I walk down the street with a beard, no one would ever guess that I'm a drag queen. So to be able to take a very masculine looking boy and to create this feminine appearance, it's rewarding to see what it is at the end.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us and letting us help Kelowna get to know you a little bit better.
No worries, Savannah. Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for watching Kelowna Now.